Political tension in Rivers State heightened Tuesday morning as police fired shots into the air. They fired shots into the air to disperse protesters at the local government secretariats. Protesters were pushing back against tenure extension for local government chairmen.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara had ordered heads of administration to take over from the outgoing council chairman, whose terms ended on June 17th. And despite this directive, former Port Harcourt City local government chairman Allwell Ihunda attempted to enter the council secretariat, but was driven away by protesting youths. We're joined this morning by the chairman concerned Rivers State Elders Forum, Precious Elekima. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good to have you. I mentioned earlier that Rivers State seems to have 1 week, one trouble for at least the last 1 year, and it's really heartbreaking seeing these developments as they have turned out. But let's first of all get your thoughts on what is currently going on with the local government council chairman, and of course, the reactions from the youths, the reaction from Governor Siminalayi Fubara as well.
Well, thank you. I think as far as I am concerned, what is going on is unacceptable and cannot be acceptable. We're almost looking at a drama that had played out on January 6th in Capitol Hill in the US, where there was a kind of an insurrection over somebody trying to determine when he has to stay in office. And so for local government chairmen who had finished their tenure to insist that they need to have a longer time, as far as I am concerned, that's an aberration. It's unfortunate that this is where we are, but there must be consequences for action. Because if those who have finished their tenure want to insist that we have to stay a longer time, this cannot be viewed with some soft hands. Because now we have a new beginning to somebody insisting that my tenure is not over. How do we solve that problem? We can take a cue with what's happening in the United States, where people are brought to book. There must be consequences for actions.
Yeah, but will they be said to be insisting if they argue that it is the Rivers State House of Assembly that granted them a 6 months extension of their stay? Because the report is that Martin Amaewhule, while he was Speaker of the State House of Assembly, granted them, pushed a bill for an amendment to the bill, rather, to grant them a 6 month extension as heads of those local government areas. Even if Governor Fubara did not assent to the bill, they vetoed his response and, of course, went on with it. So would you say that they are the ones insisting, or they are simply working with what Martin Amaewhule created for them?
There was an order of court nullifying all that was done. Justice Dagojak gave that order. Whatever thing that was done, that's nothing like any extension of time, and it was nullified and everything became voided. So the issue of whether there was an allegation that doesn't exist. You see, we have to understand the meaning of separation of powers. The assembly makes the law. The judiciary interprets the law. You have 3 heads on one neck. The executive, which is the body that executes the law. You have the legislative arm that makes the law. You have the judiciary that interprets the law. So if the assembly says everybody who steals one vote goes for 10 years, and then that is the assembly have said so, and a policeman, which is the executive, arrests somebody who has stolen one vote, he can only arrest, he cannot judge him. So he takes him to the law court. And if the law court says, no, that law cannot stand, as far as we are concerned, such a thing cannot happen. So this man goes through. That's the end of that law. So this is the relationship between the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. So once there is a pronouncement for the judiciary that this thing is null and void and cannot be part of it, that ends that matter. This is a world practice. So for a court to have pronounced that that purported allegation or whatever is null and void. That's the end of the matter.
But if we, you know, what would you say to those who argue that if we go back to the constitutional provision for, you know, how things should be run, looking at Section 7 and Section 8 of the Constitution that provide for, you know, the composition, structure of the local government, and talking about the fact that it is, you know, the responsibility of the National Assembly in this case to, you know, make decision when it comes to the potential extension of lawmakers' time in office. And, you know, they would say to you that it's not really extension per se, because there was an election that was meant to happen that was not conducted, and we're not quite sure exactly why the elections did not happen.
So what's their business? What is their business when the elections is conducted or not conducted? Their own is to carry their bags and walk away. You know, you see, this constitution is not made to be twisted by people. Nigerians cannot have the impunity. And this is what I want. That's what is going on. And that's why I say that there must be consequences for action. All those who have perpetrated this act, all those who are doing this, need to be brought to book, taken to the law courts, and the appropriate consequences taken place so that it will be a deterrent to others who want to do it tomorrow. It is important, and we're going to press on the governor to ensure that it sets up some form of judicial tribunal or committee or something to look into these issues, and where people are found to be culpable, those people must be prosecuted and judgment given.
So it would seem that it would seem that our issues here, there are issues of law that need to be determined. Whilst there's an issue of constitutional interpretation, there's also the case that has been taken to court and the court judgment. And also, you know, some would argue that there's also the conversation about the legality of the House of Assembly. Let's also talk about, you know, are you there with us? Okay, great.
Yes, I'm with you.
Let's talk about the possibility of what the political undertone in all of this is. You know, we see the legal arguments for and against. But what is the political undertone to the drama between, you know, the local government chairman, the House of Assembly, and the governor?
You see, we are talking about government constitution and separation of powers. We have passed the stage of politicking. We have come to the issue of Constitution of Nigeria. We have come to the issue of executive, legislative, and judiciary. Where we are now is there must be a process to identify the characters who are behind trying. This is treason. This is treason. Where we are talking now, there is treason going on. And these people, I'm not the one to say under which law they will be charged, but there must be a process. Let it go to the court and let the court pronounce what they are doing was legal, what they are doing has constitutional issues. But right now, there needs a process that must be taken to the judiciary to make pronouncement. Whatever thing I say here doesn't matter. Whatever thing you say doesn't matter. Whatever thing anybody says doesn't matter. But what we are saying is that there must be a process where people are taken to the law courts and let the law courts make their pronouncements.
All right. Talk also about the reaction from Governor Fubara. He addressed the state yesterday and, of course, you know, made his pronouncement. Do you think he's made the right move?
Look, you followed up the drama up to this stage. And the drama you have followed up to this stage, the governor, his hands are tied. He doesn't even know what to do. And as far as I'm concerned, he has done his best. In the circumstances he found himself. But where it is, whether what he did is legal or not legal, what he did is legal. Benue State just appointed caretaker committee last week. There was no trouble. That's Benue State, an APC state. They just appointed caretaker committee. So it is not only Rivers. And the governor, as far as I'm concerned, he has done his best. The issue is that when can we define that people cannot take upon themselves to dictate when they will be in office and when they will leave the office. That is the crux of the matter. The governor needs to set up a judiciary commission of inquiry to know those. We are talking about Nigeria. Look, this is not federal law. This is a small part inside the Nigerian government who are now dictating when they will come to office, when they will leave the office. Forget about all what they have said. But a law court has said all that was done was null and void. So where they are now is that we need to take these people to courts. We need to take them to court so that when one person is found culpable and the appropriate consequences are met on that person, others tomorrow will tell themselves to say, we can't do that. Somebody had died in, is it a chair or Muma local government area? The secretary have died. A policeman, that's a government servant, had died. And let me bring another angle to you. When some rumors are flying that, okay, these actions were taken, maybe that may attract the federal government to declare state of emergency on River State. What kind of daydreamers are that? Because some local government people feel we will not go, okay, so what we'll do, we'll finish our tenure, we need to create trouble. When we create trouble, in the process, one army man will die, or one policeman will die. Okay, well, maybe army will die, policeman has died. So there's no reaction yet. Maybe one army man will die, there will be a reaction so that River State federal government will announce take over state of emergency in River State. I don't think. That's why I don't think that's right. And that's why I say that Governor Fubara needs to set up a judicial commission of inquiry, get all those who have perpetrated these acts to book and send them to the law courts. All right. So that let the law courts define what they have done and make the appropriate pronouncement. If it is legal, let the law court say it. If it is illegal, let the law court say it. But it's not for me to say.
There have been several postulations about what is going on and who are involved. And I'd like you, as an elder in the state, to share with us what your thoughts might be regarding the role that former Governor Nyesom Wike might have to play in all of this.
Well, you see, I'm reluctant to mention Nyesom Wike at this stage because we may just be, it will be like innuendos. But if for any reason he will be fingered into it, let the law take its course. I want to doubt that Nyesom Wike haven't served as local government chairman and had left, haven't served as minister and had left, haven't served as governor and left. Now it is him that will encourage people to say he will not go. I don't want to believe it, but if that happens, I've said let the governor set up a panel of inquiry. Let them recover all those who have been involved in this thing and let the law courts decide whether there is a breach of the constitution of this country. But I'm saying that all those who are in this thing should know that my simple knowledge, common knowledge says there is treason. This is treasonable penalty. There is treason. Yes. And the law must take its course. Today it is Rivers. Tomorrow it will be in Abia. Before you know it has gone to Nigerians where elected people are now dictating when they will serve and when they will leave. The constitution, which is the very foundation that Nigeria is now standing on, is under threat. And there needs to be consequences for action. This is what I have to say.
All right. Very interesting development. Of course, now we're talking about a court case involving 23 local government chairmen. Also a court case that involves the House of Assembly members, and all of this, pending in River State. Governor Siminalayi Fubara, of course, has a lot on his plate. What we would continue to encourage is peace in River State, and that the people of River State should not be forgotten while politics is being played. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Kelima, and we'll love to speak with you again.
Thank you.